fall. So here we go again. It's a race to cut ties. The mental hopscotch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 1-1 Podcast. I'm your host with the most, the chocolate wonder with thunder, Mr. Eddie V. And joining me is the big red Nordic beast himself, Mr. Larry. I am always right to give her, Big Papa. What is up, good sir?
I got poor people tacos because I cooked tacos tonight and I did not plan accordingly. It's got beef and taco sauce and that shit's it. I totally forgot to get anything like cheese or tomatoes or lettuce or sour cream or anything. So it is literally taco shell, ground beef, and taco sauce. It is absolutely fucking poor man taco. And I am not exactly poor, but I am totally eating poor man taco.
You know, but I'm not even.
I apparently cannot fucking grocery shop.
I'm not even complaining. Look, I said, shoot, you might as well go get some manwich sauce to just make some manwich, some Sloppy Joes. Ooh, some good Sloppy Joes but it's a Thursday, it's not Friday.
Oh God. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm eating poor people tacos.
You're all good. You're all good. You're eating food. You're feeding the stomach, and you're being a healthy dad. That's all that counts.
At least the ground beef is healthy-ish. I mean, it's like 95% lean. So I mean, it's like the super lean shit. So.
Oh well, everybody. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Sony press conference and the Nintendo 3DS Direct. For this portion, we're going to be discussing the Sony press conference. It wasn't really long. It was kind of like 35 to 40 minutes of a show.
Oh, it's just too long for what it was.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was almost 3 hours when I was looking at it on YouTube, and I was just like, oh no, they doing bonus talk after. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I'm just going to run straight down, and we could just pick and choose what we want to talk about. So they showed the PlayStation Slim, and it's going to be released September 15th, 2004, September 15th for $299. And then they showed the PS4 Pro. That was the PS4 Neo that it was rumored to be. Now it's the Pro. That's going to be $399 for November 10th. It's coming with 1 terabyte, 4K HDR, which is like high defining range. It's not going to have a 4K Blu-ray player. There's going to have patches where you can, when the company like releases that patch, any of your old PlayStation 4 games, you can put it into the system, download the patch, and it will upscale the system, not upscale the game to play in that resolution. They're going to be trying to get Netflix and Hulu 4K, and any other streaming stuff for 4K and HDR. So they talked about the colors and what they were trying to improve, and they showed some games off, like Horizon Zero Dawn. They showed the environment and some new gameplay. They show Mass Effect Andromeda, some actual gameplay from that, and everything that they were showing the gameplay was from the PlayStation Pro. They show a trailer for Call of Duty. They mentioned a little bit about the PSVR, but not too much. And then they kind of did like a sizzle reel, and then they ended the show pretty much. So they showed off the systems, and the PlayStation Slim. It has a small top, but the bottom of it is still like a little bit large and big. The PlayStation Pro has two of the, like if you look at the top of the PlayStation 4 now, it has two of those and it looks a little bit bigger. And I think that PlayStation Pro looks like a Kit Kat bar that you could just throw in the messenger bag. It looks horrible. And the PlayStation 4 Slim, the top part looks like a hibachi grill. Like you could throw some meat on it, cook it up, and throw some teriyaki sauce, put it on some rice, and serve it to somebody in the food court. Both systems looks horrible. They even showed the PlayStation 4 new controller, but it looks the same, and it has a light in it. That's all I can say. But Larry, any thoughts? Have you looked at any news, any pictures, or does this sound kind of reasonable or anything?
The only news I found interesting was that they renamed it the PS4 Pro instead of the PS Neo because they get the licensing rights to put Keanu Reeves' face on it. That deal apparently fell right through.
I would so much love for them to do that. I was highly disappointed at this whole kind of little media thing. Like, you just could have did a direct for 10 minutes and showed off this and been done. Like, the conference was boring. In fact, the audience wasn't even, like, clapping.
Engaged, yeah.
They were
So
just...
here's what I said. For, like, the last 2 years, Sony's actually had really good, like, press showings at E3. Like, they know how to do a good show again. And then they did this. And it's like, well, where did the people... You need to go find the people that put your E3 show together and get them back here for this shit. Because apparently you don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's insane.
Yeah,
Because I remember years where their E3 showings were boring as shit. I literally fell asleep through some of them. But, you know, the last 2 years have actually been good. They've been well put together. They know how to put together a presentation that's interesting and engaging again to their audience. And then they're just like, here's a 45-minute presentation on 2 pieces of hardware that you may or may not give a shit about.
Yeah, it just felt like if you have insomnia, come watch this presentation and they'll put you right to sleep. Like, I understand that some of the presenters are like really want to drive and get people to believe that they need these systems, but I was just like, y'all speaking softly like y'all reading a lullaby. Like, y'all, like, really, could y'all put some bass in your voice or get like somewhat be excited? And they weren't. It felt dead.
Yeah.
Like, this was worse than a PC showing at E3.
Yeah, well, not a little bit, a lot bit, but, you know. So, that's the end of the Sony show. Fuck it. Case closed.
Yeah, if you want to hear more of my thoughts about it, check out Optional Opinion. My latest mini-sode is about that. But we're going to get into something that I'm so excited about. I can't wait to nerd out about this. And I'm actually going to I'm going to hand this part of the service, this part of the podcast over to Mr. Giver. All right, take it away, Derry.
All right, so we're going to jump into last week's Nintendo Direct that we didn't talk about on the show because Adrian wasn't here, and Adrian's still not here, so fuck him.
We love you, Adrian.
We love you, Adrian. Fuck him gently.
You caramel Connecticut.
I had a thought in my head, and it just went right out the window now. God damn it.
Canada.
Gone. So, going through some notes, just kind of running down the line on everything that they brought up in the show. One of the biggest things that came out of that was Mario Maker 3DS.
Yes.
I'm excited, sort of. Actually, I'm a little more than excited. We picked up Mario Maker when it came out. The wife was super excited about it. She's barely played it, but, you know, baby things, stuff. And so I like playing Mario Maker. I'm not a big Maker person, though. Like, I just like playing shit. You know, give me something nifty to play, and I want to play it. And that's kind of what this is. This is almost like Mario Maker Player. You know, you can go in and you can make levels, but obviously you can't share them online, which, you know, for those that that like doing that sucks. But, you know, for me, this is a good fit. You know, I can get a stack of levels, stuff them on my 3DS, and take them to go and fuck about with it. You know, and there are some limitations because it sounds like some assets didn't transfer from the Wii U version over to the 3DS, so not all the levels that are out there are playable, but I suspect there's more than enough to keep you plenty occupied, plus 100 Nintendo-made levels come stock on the cartridge, which is plenty to screw around with.
And they still recommend levels to you if you want to play them. So
yeah, you know, like I said, it's kind of like Mario Maker Player. which I'm perfectly okay with. One of the other things too is the collaborative levels or the collaborative building is something that you can do now, and I'm curious to see how that plays out. But for me, it'll probably be exactly nothing because I'm like the only person around that I know that has a 3DS. So I don't get to sit next to anybody and go, here, build this shit with me, which is why my Street Pass thing is fucking barren, and I have not gotten to finish all my puzzles yet. So.
Oh, you should have told me when I was there. I had my 3DS with me.
Oh, I know. I got the Street Pass from you.
Oh, okay. Yay.
So.
Well, I think this is...
I worked at the mall a couple years ago at a kiosk right outside of GameStop, and I could just leave it sit on my desk, and it would pick up Street Passes from people going into the store all day. That was cool. But, that was short-lived.
I think this is awesome because I'm a person that loves to create. Everybody knows that I do 17,000 podcasts and write 15,000 blogs and whatever. But I feel like with me on the go, this is like my pre-production for to get all the kinks out. And just make so much weird levels when I'm at work or I'm waiting to pick somebody up or something. Or even like waiting for food and stuff. Like I could be at a bar and just, and I know we should be interacting and stuff, but I'm just like, if there's like a little dull moment and we just pull out, we probably could create like some people who want to create drunken levels, like they are straight drunk and they just want to make stupid levels. That would be cool and stuff for some adults, I should say.
It's its own subcategory of levels is shit that I made when I was drunk.
Exactly. And if you even play a level on the, like, if you go to play a demo station, let's say you're playing Psychonauts and stuff, maybe something in that level can help you design it to put it in 2D. And so you could, like, kind of really flesh out what you want to design and then come home. And yes, it sucks that you'll have to redo everything on the Wii U, but you'll be able to do it in a short amount of time. You won't have to spend 3 to 4 hours trying to make one level. You actually have your level made. You just got to go in, put the pieces, see where everything fits, and then bam, your level is done. It might reduce that 3 to 4 hours to maybe 45 minutes or so. And then even when you put it on the Wii U, you might actually be like, well, I could probably add some amiibo functionality. Maybe I could add a little bit more puzzles here. So you might spend 15 more minutes, but everything works. And then bam, you can send it out.
Yeah. So that's Mario Maker 3DS. Next down the line was the new Mario Party for 3DS, and the only note that I had is, who the fuck cares? It's more Mario Party, and nobody cared about Mario Party since 64.
Oh, you might be disappointed that people still care about Mario Party.
Oh my god, why?
Because it sells. I would tell you now.
Why?
Because kids still love it. Kids love playing Mario Party on the go. Kids love playing that game on the Wii U. They add their amiibos. They literally come in, definitely around in my area at my job. Those kids ask for Mario Party like that. And there are some parents also who still play Mario Party with their friends. Now, it might seem that, well, it's not good anymore or it takes forever. But I'm just like, you play on a Friday night with some good friends, eating some pizza, having a few drinks and stuff, or just want to like really do something that's casual that anybody could play because you don't play hardcore games. Mario Party is still a good choice. A, you don't have to pull out a board and pull out the pieces and read directions and do all of that. B, everybody has a chance to win. For 4-player multiplayer, everybody has a chance to win. Yes, it's gotten, yes, speaking it as Mario Party in just a full term. On this 3DS one, Mario Party, I think 9 was the last one that was 3DS. It sold very well. It sold very well, and I ran out of copies at my job because people are wanting that game, and they still come in and ask me.
I just stopped giving a shit upon years ago.
Well, and I can stand. See, I don't get the Mario Party games because I want to play it with other people. But my mom, she picks it up, playing with her grandkids, and I might be like, you know what? Let's do a 4-player Mario Party, and hijinks ensues, and it's straight a fun time laugh. And that's what I enjoy. But there are kids who are on the go who still like the Mario Party series. It's not for adults, but it can be for casual adults who wants to just like try something new and kind of get hammered and do the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Jumping down the line, Animal Crossing. A new, apparently kind of sort of big update coming that they're not really saying much about. Bringing in amiibo functionality into the 3DS Animal Crossing, not the Animal Crossing Happy House Arrest, but the actual one. They're also bringing out new amiibo cards, which again I'm beyond caring about. The amiibo cards are stupid to me. If I'm gonna get an amiibo, I want a cool little fucking figure. Give me a little collectible thing.
Okay.
Cards for amiibos, I'm just
So,
but
when you guys hear this podcast, like you're listening to it now, if you go to Toys R Us, all the amiibo figures are $8.99, the singles. The cards are still
no shit.
Yeah, the cards are still $5.99. And if you're interested, just a heads up, if you're interested into the Animal Crossing and Amiibo Festival, it's only $19.99. And this is the 2-pack. So this is the game with 2 characters. So I mean that's a good deal. I definitely when I get my new
really want to play the game.
Yeah. Definitely when I get my new 3DS, Animal Crossing New Leaf is going to be a game I'm definitely going to get. I think I'm going to get the holiday version. And the game still sells well. New Leaf sold like crazy when it came out. So this new version and this update is still good. And I'm glad that it's finally getting an Animal Crossing Direct because it's going to make more people definitely in the holiday come and pick up this game that they missed. So,
and that leads to my next question: is how many people are really still playing New Leaf? Because how many other Animal Crossing things have come out between now and then? And it's not like when Animal Crossing was on the GameCube or out on the original DS, where I forever saw people playing fucking Animal Crossing years after. I don't see that as much with New Leaf, and maybe it's just me, but.
A lot of girls still play it, and a lot of people still buy the cards. I think it's just probably an area thing. If you don't get a lot of people playing it in that area. I know a lot of the little girls come to my store at my job, and the parents ask, like, what is something that's going to cater to them that's not Barbie or Monster High? That's not like Raise My Pony or something like that. Animal Crossing is like one of the fitting games that they're asked. And they bring their grandpas and their grandmas and moms and dads, and they be like, can I get Animal Crossing New Leaf? And so I think it's still popular, and I think it still sells. Like, yeah.
But keep it on down. Me Plaza's getting a handful of new stuff. They're updating the Me Plaza gate. At this point, I don't care. The only thing I do with anything in my Me Plaza is I have a compulsion to eventually try and finish all the damn puzzles. But they're also putting out a couple of new games, and you can pick up like 6 new games, and you can pick up one of 2 of them for free. And you can buy the rest of them for bundled together for a fairly cheap price. So, I mean, if you do get a bunch of Street Pass stuff, then there you go. There's something nifty. But for those like me who don't ever get anything Street Pass with any sort of consistency, it's kind of wasted on me. That's a yeah. Tank Troopers, though. Tank Troopers looks fucking cool.
Yes, it does.
Tank Troopers reminds me a little bit of like Battalion Wars. I love Battalion Wars 2 on the Wii.
On the Wii.
It's got kind of that look. it really, what it made me think of after watching it again, so I'm kind of like, this is a little like battle mode Mario Kart, but with tanks.
You know what? I never thought about that. For some unknown reason, Advance Wars came to my mind, mixed with Codenames theme. But now that you said Battalion Wars, and then you just mentioned this Mario Kart battle, that is better. That fits that game, and that makes me super happy. Like it's I can't wait to get more information because it looks so much fun.
It does. You know, I don't think it's going to have a major lasting appeal, but I think it's something that will be at least enjoyable, that you could probably pick up every once and again and still get your enjoyment out of. I'll be curious to see how driving the single player campaign is. But you know, I'm really hoping though that the characters in this have some personality to them, and it's not just here's a different character for a different tank.
Right. And
you know, 'cause that personality goes a long way.
I would say if they do a single player, I know this might sound long, but 14 good levels would do me justice. Like the first three could be easier to teach you different modes and strategies, and then the other 11, bam, give me the challenge and keep raising that challenge and tell a funny, quirky story. Like, you know, and like kind of change up the strategy and gameplay and stuff throughout it, because Nintendo's known for that. Like, I would take a good 14 like level single player, and of course multiplayer is going to be local. If they do I would say this: a game like this needs to be online also. So if I'm online here and you got the game and you online, let's battle it out. Let's get straight destructive and talk all the smack that we can. Now, I may lose, but at least I'm able to have fun with you because we're not close to each other, but we know that we can hop online and really battle each other and kind of learn and change and have a better strategy. But yeah, I'm so happy right now. I love that.
So next one, I'm not a huge person into it. I'm not knocking it by any stretch. It's less my cup of tea for some reason, which seems weird because I loved other stuff kind of like it, but I never got into Picross. We've got the new Picross game coming out, and there's a demo coming with it. They're going to put in some amiibo functionality for it to boot, and so, you know, more Picross 3D. So,
you know, but for some people, it's a good game to play when you're flying or you're traveling like on a bus or a train. So it's a good travel game for some people because it makes you think. So you don't have to worry about how long I'm on this train or flight. You just be like, I'm just doing this puzzle and taking my time. Bam. So I mean, there's people who like it. I haven't heard much of like a report.
I'm willing to acknowledge it's not my cup of tea like it maybe once would have been.
Yeah, the demo is available, so I'll say give the demo a try. I haven't tried the demo, that's what I need to do. But it's not my cup of tea neither. Just give me Tetris or really puzzle, or heck, Capcom, please be friendly and just port over a version of Puzzle Fighter so I could be happy.
Actually, I'd be totally happy going back to playing Polarium on the DS.
Yes!
Polarium was fucking awesome. No shit, I've got to share this story because this is just fucking weird.
Go ahead.
This is like one of the two, this and Peggle. So years ago when Polarium came out, I was still working at the game store way back when, and living with my folks at the time, and I come home one night and I'm fucking around with Polarium on my DS, and I've got a full charge on this thing, and I brought it out to the living room. My mom's sitting on the couch screwing around on her laptop. I'm like, here, check this out. I think you'll enjoy this. You know, I figure she'll probably play a couple stages and go, that's neat, I'm done. So I hand it to her. I go back to my room and start messing around with something else. She comes back several hours later and goes, here, I think the battery died. She literally played Polarium with a full charge on my DS until it died.
Wow.
Hours later. So that one and the other one, like I said, Peggle. Sitting out in the living room at my folks' house, playing Peggle on my 360. Mom's in the kitchen on her laptop, and that's why I'm like, here, come check this out. I think you'll enjoy this. This is just right for you, I think. And I started off with a fresh game of Peggle right from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts playing a couple stages. I'm sitting there just watching her hanging out. And she literally played through all 100 stages in a row until about 2 a.m, looks up at the clock and goes, should probably go to bed now. My mom sat up till 2 a.m. playing all 100 stages of Peggle. She got that into it. So,
dude,
but yeah,
that's what Planet Puzzle League did to me. Like, I'm like, are you serious? If I'm playing the game at 8 p.m., why in the world is it 3 a.m.? Like, I'm like, I thought we did like 4 puzzles. and just like, Planet Puzzle League is good, and I still need to find a copy of Puzzle Quest. That's what I should have got when I was there on the trip.
No, you need to fuck off on Puzzle Quest. You need to get a copy of Meteos. Meteos was awesome, and oh my god, that game had some of the best music.
Oh, Meteos, yes. So anyone who doesn't know what Meteos is, if you know Mizuguchi, Res Infinite is coming for PSVR. Luminous, he's the creator of that. He's always been about music, and he's always been about mixing puzzles or anything action worth, but it all has to be done with music. Meteos is so fantastic that you sometimes don't want to even play the puzzle. You literally wish you could just go to the BGM in the game, hook it up to
It had a little jukebox player that you could play the music.
Yeah, and you just want to hook it up to a stereo and blast it like wherever you're doing. It could be played at a party.
I hooked that shit up to the stereo in my bedroom. Yeah. That should happen.
Oh, that game music is fantastic. And my request for you, Sir Larry, you have to drop a track in. You have to drop a track in.
I would have to find it, and oh god, I can't hunt music the way I used to years ago. But it does make me kind of want to play it again now. But so under one of the bigger ones, as irritating as it is to me for reasons, was 30th anniversary of Zelda.
Yay!
So they wanted to talk about, the new NES Mini again, and that it got Zelda 1 and 2 on it, so hooray. A handful of new amiibos for the 30th anniversary of the Zelda line. I don't really give a flying crap about the Ocarina or the Wind Waker amiibos, but I really want the 8-bit Link amiibo, so he can sit next to my 8-bit Mario amiibo and be awesome. But apparently those guys are all going to have some sort of functionality or another with Breath of the Wild, which they still haven't said what. I'm still curious as to what the other actual Breath of the Wild amiibos are going to do in Breath of the Wild, because I haven't talked about that either. Other news, Skyward Sword is now downloadable on the Wii U.
Yes.
For a whopping 20, which is totally worth it. Hate on it all you want. It's not a terrible game. It really does merit playing. Yes. And from there, Dark Horse is putting out some Zelda art books, make great coffee table books. The first one is up for order on Amazon, if I remember right.
Yeah, I have to order my copy next week.
Yeah. And then, they also mentioned that the Symphony of the Goddess tour is still going on. It's still a thing, and they're like, go get some tickets for that. And this brings me to my sore point of what the fuck? Why is there no Metroid 30th anniversary? Even a mention, just something. Say something. Don't pretend like it doesn't exist, because you're just going to piss off more people than you already have.
Can I tell you, I think it's it was Nintendo Japan decision. I think America will really want to do something because Metroid is popular here in our country.
Oh yeah,
But
it does not do well in Japan.
yeah,
Really never has.
yeah. For anyone who haven't read the news, Metroid Prime Federation Force in Japan only sold 5,000 copies. But Metroid has never been popular in Japan. So maybe Nintendo Japan didn't really want to do anything really big or major, even though they should have allowed America to do something. But probably
Nintendo Japan needs to get its nose out of Nintendo of America's business. Oh my God. Let them have a little bit of fucking creative control. You know, let them do something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but all the creditors and CEOs and all the stockholders and stuff are in Japan. The big monies that really kind of say and somewhat make the decisions and stuff. They kind of make those decisions in Japan. So I wish that we could do that, something like that in America. And my thing is, even if Nintendo doesn't do anything, people just celebrate it the way that you want. I say make your own cake. Have people dress up as a Samus party or do a costume or something and just celebrate it the way it is, or do a live stream. Get new people, challenge people, like make Metroid's 30th anniversary special. I know I missed it because of work and stuff, but I really want to do something special for Metroid. And it's good that we did the Metroid.
Do something special and finish Metroid 2.
I will, Big Papa, I will. But I really want to dedicate some time and really say some words about Metroid. And even though we got our Metroid perspective about the whole series, Metroid has always been impactful to me as a gamer, and still to this very day, when I hear about news about Metroid or I see something that they're going to talk about, or a new game comes out, yes, I still got to get it Federation Force. I haven't had a chance to get it. I will always support Metroid because, like you, Larry, it means a lot to me, and I feel like it's a piece of my gaming history that I never wanted to be taken away. So this 30th anniversary, yeah, it hurts that Nintendo Japan didn't do something, but I kind of want to get a cake, or I want to kind of, create something that's Metroid related, because Samus has always been an important character for me as a gamer.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, that's a sore note. But going down the line, what else the hell did they have? They talked about their selects line that came out a month or two ago. So they're adding some more $20 games to the lineup.
Before we go on to that, Hyrule Warrior Legends for 3DS is going to have new DLC content. So you could play as Link from the Spirit Tracks, and his special move is hitting him with the train, which I think is so funny. I literally laugh. And you'll be able to play as Ghost Zelda from the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Hourglass, and you put her in the suit, and when she comes out, like, she raises up and put this whole circle of enemies raising up and make them explode. So that is available for a DLC for the 3DS. So if you're into that, check it out. And they also said they got a season pass that's on a discount. So do check that out also. And that was the last of the Legend of Zelda.
Like I said, Selects line, handful of $20 games. But again, it's nothing actually new. They just wanted to mention it again because that happened like a month and a half ago.
Yes, get that Wind Waker HD if you can find it. Get it.
Yeah, that's worth picking up, definitely. There's a couple of decent things in there. And then, because we had to talk about it again, the Galaxy 3DS, which frankly looks like just stupid crap to me, but maybe I'm just getting cynical here. So, that's a thing. Here's a 3DS with a picture of stars on it, and it's fucking purple.
Well, of course, it's the Galaxy.
Not that it had anything to do with anything. They just went, here, I want to print a picture on this.
Oh, you know, people are going to put Metroid all on that one. If they don't got stickers for that system to put on, someone's going to make it, and you'll be able to put it on there.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm done with it.
Oh, and just a warning to anyone who gets it: don't you dare put anything that's No Man's Sky related. You have been warned.
You may as well at this point, but I did have Hyrule Warriors on here next, but we hit that. Ace Attorney at this point, I so don't care. It was neat once, and I'm over it. I'm kind of the Ace Attorney of how is this thing.
Yeah, the demo is out, but the whole game is available now, so you can get it on 3DS. I will be getting that game next week. I love the franchise, so I pretty much got every game that came out. I have the demo, and I'm going to try it. Yes, I'm going to try it real quick and then hop back into Metroid 2 and finish that. But yeah, I love that game. It's getting really good reviews, like 8.5s and some 9s and stuff. So it's getting really good reviews. So if you're interested in that game, do check it out.
We also had a couple of bigger RPG titles coming to the 3DS: Dragon Quest VII and Dragon Quest VIII coming along.
Yes.
These are great big boons because Nintendo's been talking about Dragon Quest stuff for years, and there hasn't really been anything real mainstay line Dragon Quest that's hit a Nintendo system, and it's nice to see some of this finally come to fruition because, how long ago did they say that, what was it, Dragon Quest 9 or 10 or whatever was going to be coming out on the Wii, and God knows that shit never happened in the States, at least.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 10, yeah.
Yeah, so at least some of that's coming along here. I don't know if I would call it prettier than the PlayStation 2 iterations, but they certainly are not ugly by any means. So, some big sweep epic JRPG coming to the 3DS with, a big name brand behind it.
Well, Dragon Quest VII, they rebuilt from the ground up. So the localization, the graphics, everything looks different from the PlayStation 1 version. As for Dragon Quest VIII, since that's coming out next year, it looks like it's a port of the PlayStation 2 version. So I really can't say anything much about that until I see it. But the Dragon Quest VII is like a complete remake. They said it's like 100 hours worth of gameplay before you can finish that game.
That's a big meaty game to get through, and that'll be a good fit. It's nice to see some of the actual mainline serious Dragon Quest stuff coming to a Nintendo platform where they said it was going to be coming like 10 years ago.
I think 4, 5, and I think 6. Let's see, 4, 5. I know 9, and I think 6 is on DS. I think 4 of the old ones that they redid is on DS, and 7 and 8 would be on 3DS. So I think kind of the main ones that we missed, that we didn't get, I think the whole collection is kind of full. That would actually be nice if they dropped 4, 5, 6, and 9 on the Wii U in the coming months.
That's another thing too, is that these are games they could have really prettied up and put on the Wii U, that library. But I can't say I disagree with them for doing it at this point. But it really does, especially after this Direct, it really does feel like they're just throwing any support for Wii U to the wind. They're just looking at it going, yeah, this is already done. Let's move on here. Let's not, pour fuel onto a dead fire. So, it's kind of a shame, but it's also understandable.
Yeah.
So, That's a bummer. You know, I don't know. That's a mixed bag, but I'm not going to go too deep on that. Yokai Watch. There's more Yokai Watch coming, and I think they've tried really hard to capture the whole Pokemon dual game concept and the collect all of them. I don't know if it's really grabbing hold in the States like they want it to or it was going to.
It's slowly dead because the toys wasn't out yet. But once the toys came out and kids were watching the cartoon, the game started slowly selling. So it did all right here, but I think because we weren't hit like Pokemon was hit when it came out, like with the anime, we just didn't wasn't really exposed to it. Like I heard big things about it and being successful in Japan. So it didn't really.
It's done very well there. I just don't think it's gotten the same hold and fervor here that it did over in Japan.
Yes,
like Pokemon did.
But
so
I know definitely for me, I'm picking up both of them. I'm picking up both games.
Next on their list was the Disney thing. Apparently they're making sure that small female children watching this have something that they want to play too, I suppose. Which, good for you. I don't know that the Direct was the right place to put this, per se, but there it was, I guess.
It was probably a good business deal with Disney. So, that's
probably
what I see as. Yeah.
So, and then there's Sonic Boom on this, and the only note that I left on my notes here is, dear God, why? Why? Let Sonic Boom die.
Because
let it go. Fuck.
Well, it was supposed to be out when the after the Wii U version came out, but I think they went back and redid the whole game. So, I mean, it's 2D.
It's probably garbage.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2D. It looks nice, but this game is only for Sonic fans. I think because we got left out with Sonic Mania, this is the game to make up for. This is
making up for Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I mean that's my only opinion. Like they delayed it and they reworked the whole game. Because like I said, Sonic Boom was for 3DS was supposed to come out. Fire and Ice was supposed to come out when the Wii U version came out, but I think they just went back to the drawing board and fixed the whole game. So I really don't care. But for people who are into Sonic games and think that this is going to be good, my thing is get it if you love it, play it, and if the reviews are good or if you personally enjoy it and it can overlook things, good for you. But for me, I got Super Mario 3D Maker.
Next one down, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised to see, but happy to see it, was Shin Megami Tensei 4 coming to the 3DS. And while it's not my bag, I can appreciate the series for being really cool and really dark, and I'm kind of excited to see that that's coming to 3DS. I would love to see them take like 1 through 3 and package them together in some way, shape, or form and put it on a Nintendo platform, because it's a personal pet peeve of mine when a series jumps platform exclusivity and I can't get the entire series on like one platform. It's one thing if it was on like GameCube and then the Wii and then the Wii U, but if I have to go to a PlayStation for one installment and then an Xbox for another installment and then a Wii or a 3DS for another installment, and I can't have them all on at least one company's platform, that irritates the fuck out of me. That was a big pet peeve when they did Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U. It's like, okay, here, we're putting Mass Effect 3 out on the Wii U, but you're not giving the Nintendo people that are buying the Wii U access to the first two on your console. That was the dumbest thing ever to me.
Okay. I just want people to go to IGN.com and look up Mass Effect 3 for Wii U, like search it. There was a news story about the company who did the port for it. So, and it explains why EA didn't give that trilogy. So, so do check that one out. With the Shin Megami Tensei, where this is more Persona, because, I think the story is Shin Megami Tensei, Persona was the first one, and Persona 2, the two titles were the second Shin Megami Tensei games. And then 3, I believe, came to DS, and then 4 got 3DS. Because at that time, Atlas was still unknown, and it was really really making niche games on the PlayStation 1. And I think Nintendo of Japan didn't really know Atlas at that time. I think it's a really bad history, and I understand how you feel. I really wish they would just re-release that game. Persona and Persona 2. I wish they would re-release that on 3DS. Or Wii U, or do something. But I know those games are available on the PlayStation Network. But I was just like, you know what? Bring these games over to the 3DS crowd. Even if you feel like you gotta censor it because you're worried, then do that. But yeah, bring that collection over. Like we support Atlas more on the Nintendo platform than we do on any other platform. So why not bring it over?
Just a nugget for those that don't go and look up that story. The guys that did that port of Mass Effect 3 ended up being the ones that Nintendo hired to do the port of Twilight Princess over to the Wii U.
Yes.
So they apparently really liked their work. So they've got a good rapport.
And they're good at it. When I was reading, I'm like, yeah, they made some hits, so they know their business. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So, down the line, one of the other big ones coming from the Wii U to the 3DS is Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yes!
Which is fuck all adorable. Yoshi's Woolly World and Poochie.
Oh, you know I'm getting 2 right. You know I'm getting 2 Poochies. So...
Yeah, Poochie's adorable. Oh my god, Poochie's adorable.
So, in case if you don't see one and you can't find one, you know where to find me.
Mm-hmm.
You literally know where to find me.
I'm excited for this. I love the fuck out of Yoshi's Woolly World. It was super cute and adorable. It totally had that whole, craft aesthetic, which I really liked from Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Such a good game also.
God, yes. Epic Yarn was fairly easy, but it was still a lot of fun, and it was way cute as shit, and so was Woolly World. So that's coming over. Poochie Amiibo, there's some new stages in the 3DS version. Another one I'm really curious about.
And check out the animated shorts that's going to be added to the game also.
Yes. Another one I'm really curious about coming to 3DS is Ever Oasis.
Yes!
And I put emphasis on the fact that I'm curious because I have not seen enough of this game to really hook me. I'd be curious to see where it goes from here if this ends up with enough behind it from Nintendo to become a new pillar in their franchise list, in their IP list. And I think that's really dependent on whether or not the characters have a really strong personality that people grab onto. As I sit here dying. But yeah, it's something that's coming, and it could do well if they put the right amount of push on it. My fear is that they're just going to not talk about it nearly as much as they should, and it will come out and it will die.
They're probably waiting for next year because I think Ever Oasis won't be out. I don't feel like that game is ready to be really marketed until next year. But from the creator of Secret of Mana, really, that's all you had to say. And then I seen the gameplay, and I literally fell in love. Like when I seen that E3, I was just like, this is a day one purchase. I don't care if anyone else don't buy it. I'm going to my job, if I don't get it, I'm finding the nearest GameStop or Best Buy or Target, and I'm putting my money down to get this game. Like this game to me personally deserves to be bought, and I don't care if it gets 6.0s. I don't care if the story is terrible. I don't care if it doesn't even play well. This game needs to be in my collection.
What else we got? Mario Sports. More Mario Sports.
Oh, that's going to sell huge. That is going to sell huge. Kids are still buying Super Slugger for Wii.
Yeah. The only thing that concerns me is, given that they're packing 5 different sports onto a 3DS cart, is how much depth do any of them have individually versus, like, you know, the single sports titles like Mario Strikers, where you've got some real depth to that game. That's the only thing that makes me kind of wonder about that. But beyond that, Mario Sports is Mario Sports, and it's always fun. Fuck it.
Hopefully, I can talk to the Nintendo rep, and hopefully they have a demo cartridge, and I'll get to try it out, and I can report more on it when the game comes more available.
Yeah. Next one down is Pikmin 3DS. So,
yes. And no, everybody, this is not the version that Miyamoto announced. This is completely separate. Miyamoto's probably working on the NX version. He's not doing a mobile version.
They haven't said that. They just said, here's the Pikmin game.
Yeah. And the potential thing to get it canceled is stupid. Go ahead.
Well, all that shit needs to stop. But in any case, my question is this the way to go for Pikmin? I looked at it and I went, I'd play that more than I would the console Pikmins, honestly. The other thing that it really made me think about is in terms of playstyle departure from the series was it reminded me a lot of Chibi Robo Ziplash.
Yes.
So, which I think was a shame. Chibi Robo Ziplash had some good ideas, but the way you handled getting around the board was fucking terrible with that randomizer. It made it a pain in the ass, but I think that this has the potential to be really a lot of fun. I'm anxious to get my mitts on it. It looks like just the right amount of Pikmin cuteness and mixed with some platforming that really isn't there in the mainline titles.
Day one purchase for me. That's all I really need to say. Like,
yeah.
it
looks
just
all kinds of promising.
Yes.
So,
and like they said, it's a working title, so they're still developing it. I think it's going to have some really creative puzzles. I think this game, yeah, that's all I can say. I'm so happy right now.
Oh, we've also got the Nindies. The first of which was Axiom Verge. Came out that day. Finally on the Wii U, where it fucking should have been like years ago. Came out $20, released on sale for a couple dollars off. I've been playing as much of it as I have had time to. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. It looks like, and I know I'm late to the party, but it makes me. It looks like somebody let H.R. Geiger fucking loose on a Metroid game, and they sprinkled in a little Contra for good measure.
Yes. I have it for PS. Yeah, I have it for PS4. I plan on getting the Wii U version. This game is just amazing. It's so good.
I'm really digging the story in this. It really compels me to go deeper and find out more. I love the look, the feel. I don't know that it's got enough of its really defining personality
Mhm.
like Metroid did, but there's enough there to drive me to keep playing it. And it's got enough stuff that is unique from a Metroid or a Castlevania game that it doesn't just feel derivative. It feels inspired by super heavily, but it doesn't feel just derivative.
Yes.
Which is next on the Nindies list. Still no fucking Armacrog. What the hell? Are we just not talking about this, Nintendo? You have an awesome game on your platform, and you just don't fucking talk about it?
Can I tell you why Nintendo's not talking about it? Because the people who made the game are not talking about it. Now, and I would say why to this. They didn't even talk about it on PS4. They didn't even talk about it. I think it's also available for Xbox One. The people who made this game, they're not talking about it for any of the consoles. So, for me personally, I can't blame Nintendo for this one. I have to blame the creators. Like, you guys didn't take any money to spend on marketing. Like,
no, there's some blame to be had.
Like,
there's plenty of blame to be had with the creators, but the fact that it dropped on a fucking Tuesday on the Wii U is
because
weird
it dropped
enough.
because it dropped everywhere else. When they dropped it on Wii U for Tuesday, they dropped it on Xbox One. I think it's available on Xbox One and PS4 because PS4 get their releases on Tuesdays. So they dropped it when that came out, and they didn't say nothing. Because Nintendo would do something. I wish they would have did something. Maybe Nintendo didn't know they was going to drop it on Tuesday. Who really knows? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, when I went looking for it the day that it dropped, like I said, you couldn't find it on any of the lists anywhere. You literally had to search it by name to find it. Like, it wasn't even listed in like new releases or anything. It's like, what the fuck?
Probably because
it was not listed anywhere in any of the lists. You literally had to know that it was out and that you had to search for it. It's fucking stupid.
Probably because of Nintendo's setup of releases being for digital stuff being on Thursdays, except the stuff that's coming out on Fridays. Like the indie stuff that comes out on Thursdays, I think they normally have it set up to be announced and not announced. They're kind of announced and ready to go on Thursdays at certain times. And I think because this broke from it, maybe that's why. It's very weird. But yeah, I agree with you.
It's a lot of fucking weird. But for those that haven't done it yet, go buy it. It's awesome. It's a little on the short side, but it's cheap too. It's like $10. Go buy it.
Yeah. And we'll be talking. Yeah, and in 2 weeks we'll be talking about it. So you'll have hopefully enough time to pick it up and try it out.
Now that I'm almost through it, I was telling Eddie I need to retract one of my initial thoughts on it, but we'll get to that when we talk about it. The other thing that struck me about their Nindies conversation was no mention of any of the physical copies coming out. I know they talked a while ago. The news came out that Fast Racing Neo is getting a physical copy disc on the Wii U. This includes the Future Racing Pack, the new DLC for that, as well as the SteamWorld collection. But I have not heard anything about it coming stateside as of yet. Which it was either you or Adrian said something about it. And I need to look a little deeper, but I have not seen any news or dates on stateside releases for that, which irks me a little because I want physical copies.
Now, once again, it might be up to the makers for that decision. So, yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, so probably keep a check out on Twitter or probably see if you can look up their page and see if any new info. Yeah.
So hopefully news of that will come soon. And Indies is a thing that they're pushing like one a week for the next 4 or 5 weeks, and whichever one comes out that week, they're discounting for the week that it's brand new. So
this week is Jotan. whenever this episode comes out, or since you're hearing it now, Jotan is out, so that's the next game. That's the game that's out. Neutral Love Devolution is the third game, which is next Thursday, September 15th. Severe, I think is the next game after that, or it might be the last one. Then there's one more game. So it's like every game for this month, every Thursday, there'll be a discount. So for the Nindies.
Yeah. But no, the big one is that Axiom Verge is finally on the platform that it fucking belongs on. Go buy that. Holy shit. Other than that pretty much covers it. We've run through the whole bloody direct.
And we have Pokemon Sun and Moon, but more info is dropping almost every day for that. So we won't really get much into that one, but you can check out the direct and check out some of the Pokemon company's channel.
Yeah, that's a thing. So there we go. We've hit pretty much all the good stuff. The other thing, Apple's showing today as well. Super Mario Runner. I don't know that I care. Because apparently it's only coming out on iPhones and Apple App Store.
It's only coming up for iOS right now. Android will get it next year.
I still don't know how much I care. I would have to actually get my hands on it to find out if I really give a shit or not.
I have, like I said, I have Mario Maker 3DS, so I'm good.
Yeah. So, also, Pokemon Go is coming out for Apple Watch.
And we can continue going on.
Yeah. And then the little Pokemon Go wristband device thing has been delayed again, it sounds like.
No, it's coming out next Friday, September 16th.
Yeah, there you go. That was the news. There was something about it. Shit. My question is, how many people are really still playing Pokemon Go?
It seems that
I think they missed the ideal window for getting that shit out.
Yeah.
Plus it's about to get fucking cold outside, and I'm pretty sure you're going to lose a whole lot of people over the winter.
Well, we shall see. Yeah. But that was our Nintendo Direct and our Sony PlayStation event, and a little bit about the Apple event. We want to hear what you guys think. You can email the show at world11podcast@gmail.com. We'll be able to get to those questions more, because we'll probably ask Adrian what he thought of both conferences, just to get his idea. You can follow us at World11 Podcast on Facebook. You can check out this podcast, World 11, at archive.org. SoundCloud under Optional Opinion. Just go to there and you'll see both podcasts of Optional Opinion and World 11. Google Play, iTunes, and other podcast apps that you'll be able to find it. You just got to go to Optional Opinion, and for all the everything else, it just look and you'll see it. We are going to try to get archive.org connected to iTunes, so that World 11 will have its own iTunes podcast app that you guys could get and be able to listen to the episodes. So thank you guys. Larry, where can we find you and what you got going on?
On Facebook, same as always. I'm tired and it's late. You'll find me on Facebook occasionally posting some stories and other odds and ends out to our Facebook page. I'm trying to do a little more with it, and hopefully when things calm down a little later in the year for me, or maybe the beginning of next year at this point, the way things are going, I will hopefully have some time to sit down and really do a little more to kind of grow the content of the Facebook page. Lord knows, I might even get back into writing some original pieces, just some editorial shit. But I've got to get myself back in the headset, and I've got to get time to do it. And right now I've got so much on my fucking plate, aside from my poor person tacos, that
I love you so much.
I don't have time to really put the time into it now that it needs and it deserves, and I'm sorry, but hang in there with us for the next few months, and you'll see more original written content coming to kind of supplement what we ramble on about every week or so here on the show. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter at @RetroCode. I have more stuff. You can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, the Anomalous Radio Network.podbean.com, and other podcast apps. And I'm getting ready to do my the Beauty of Video Games Volume 2 about genres. So do check that out in the next 3 weeks. But with that, you guys, we are out. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Whenever you hear this podcast, spend time with family and friends and play some good video games. And with that, everybody, we are out. Peace.